Hello, and welcome to Verbling. I'm teacher Oakley. For the next hour, we're going to be looking at constructing and practicing constructing simple sentences. This week, or at least the next 4 days at this particular time slot, each day we'll look at a different type of sentence construction. There are 4 types, 4 days. So today we'll look at simple sentences, tomorrow compound sentences, the next day complex sentences, and then compound complex sentences. Each one getting a little more complicated every day. Today, the basics. We're going to talk about clauses and simple sentences. Okay, so let me welcome back Nian. Hi, Nian again. Nian again. Hello, hello.
Hi, teachers, again.
Hi again.
Yeah.
And Ken. Hello again, Ken.
Hello again.
Hey. Okie doke. I'm going to do a screen share and we'll get right to it. Hang on just a sec. Oops. Okay. Simple sentences. I kind of prefer, I don't know, I personally, as I teach, I kind of prefer to call simple sentences independent clauses. This becomes important because as we look at complex sentences and compound complex sentences, it's important to understand the difference between an independent clause, which is in effect a simple sentence, and a dependent clause, which needs some help. It's a dependent. So we'll be looking at a lot of dependent clauses later this week, different ways of forming them. Dependent clauses start with what are called subordinators. Things like words like because, or time subordinators like when or while. While I was cooking dinner, he was reading the newspaper. Okay, that's a complex sentence because it contains an independent and a dependent clause. Independent clause is a simple sentence. A simple sentence is an independent clause. The definition of a sentence is that it contains at least one independent clause. It contains a subject, noun, and a verb. It must. And it expresses a complete thought. This is the killer here. It expresses a complete thought by itself. So if you say this by itself, it makes sense. Going back to my example, while I was cooking dinner. If I just stop there and that's all I say, that sentence does not make any sense. It is not a complete thought. Thus, it is not an independent clause or simple sentence. Okay, looking at some examples. Subjects are in yellow and the verbs are in green. We have different possibilities. It is very straightforward, or SV, S for subject, V for verb. One subject, one verb. Oh, Christian, it's you again. Hi, Christian. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I'm here again.
You are. Okay, anybody in class, can anybody, trivia question, pop quiz, can anyone tell me a type of sentence in which there is no subject, but it's still a complete sentence? Trick question.
I think order.
Order.
Yes.
Okay, a command sentence. Yes, like clean your room, do your homework.
Yeah, exactly.
You are absolutely correct. Very good. 2 points for Ken. Excellent. That is correct. Command sentences, okay. The subject appears to not be there, but it is there by default, mentally, for native English speakers, the subject is you. You do your homework. You clean your room. Okay. It's there, but it's not there. It still fits the definition of a simple sentence because it is assumed that it's there. So it is there, but it's not there, but it is. Okay. Try not to be confused. It's English. Okay. Anyway, we can have a simple sentence with one subject noun and one verb. Okay. Some students like to study in the morning. Notice we have an infinitive and then a prepositional phrase. Notice there's not really any direct object noun. It is not necessary to have a direct object noun, although you could. Some students like books. That's a direct object. This is an indirect object. It is not necessary to have an object, to have a sentence or an independent clause. Often we do, but it's not absolutely necessary. Harold is angry, for example, uses the linking verb to be and an adjective. That has a subject and a verb, no object. No object now. But it is still, it makes sense. It's a complete thought. It has a subject. It has a verb. Okay, we can also create a sentence. A simple sentence can have multiple, any number actually, of subject nouns, as in Juan and Arturo play football every afternoon. Okay, what we're doing a little bit here, when we're using this SSV thing, we're dissecting the sentence, is what it's called, into its parts, into its grammatical parts. Okay, this is an SSV sentence. Two subjects. Okay, no problem. This is still a simple sentence. All right, and then our last example, SVV. You can have one subject that does two actions. This is still one simple sentence. Alicia goes to the library and studies every day. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit into tomorrow's lesson, but what if I added another object noun? Anybody know what kind of sentence? Now it's no longer a simple sentence. It's a different kind of sentence. Any of you guys know what it is now?
No.
Okay. Well, preview for tomorrow's lesson at this time. This is a compound sentence. It combines two.
With preposition and preposition. Yes. Okay.
It combines two independent clauses. Albert studies every day. Subject, verb, complete thought. Alicia goes to the library. Same thing. Subject, verb, complete thought. I'm using a connective conjunction, and but yet we'll talk about this a lot more tomorrow. But now I have created a compound sentence. So that's the difference. I need to show this to you so you know the difference between when we add a subject. This is a big deal. When we add a subject, you're creating a new clause. If you're not adding a subject, it's not a new clause. You're just adding a new verb, a new phrase. Phrases and clauses are different. A clause is basically a sentence, a finished sentence, independent clause, or an unfinished sentence, a dependent clause. Okay. Now, this is a little bit confusing. Perhaps you should ignore it, really, because it's not that important. It doesn't make that much difference. We can describe sentence number 2 as having a compound subject. Compound meaning two. A compound word like airplane has two words. That's a compound word. Okay. In a sentence, we can describe that as a compound subject or compound verb. All right. Okay, so there can be multiple subject nouns and or verbs. Let's practice before we move on. Hang on, let's try a little practice. Okay, let me quickly welcome Turkey. Hi, welcome back.
Hi, how are you?
Hi again. I'm still fine. Thank you very much. Okay, Nian, give me an SSV. Make up a sentence.
My husband and I go out for dinner.
Okay. Definitely. Okay, my husband, one subject, I, second subject, go out, phrasal verb, but yep, a verb. Phrasal verb, one word verb doesn't matter. That's very good. Go out for dinner. One slight problem with this is the completeness of the thought. Nian, how could you make this sentence a little better? More of a complete thought. Hint, hint, time. When do you go out for dinner? This is a little bit incomplete as an idea. Okay.
My husband and I went out for last dinner.
Okay. Went out
For
for last.
dinner yesterday.
There you go. Yesterday or last night. My husband and I go out for dinner every Friday. Okay, something like that. Or you changed your verb tense to went out, but if I keep go out, you know, every Friday. Okay, this is better. Why is it better? Because it's more of a complete idea. It's a little vague. My husband and I go out for dinner. It's not really complete. I don't really understand it. Okay. Ken. No, give me an SVV.
SVV. Two verbs. Two verbs. I love and like studying English.
Okay. All right. Now, nothing wrong with this per se, but of course, obviously, it's slightly redundant.
Yeah, same meaning. Yeah.
These verbs are very, very, very similar in meaning, so it's a little.
I enjoy and like study English.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better. Yes. Now you have two verbs, two different meanings. Yeah, it works better for me. Okay, great. Christian.
Yeah.
Give me an SSVV.
SSVV off.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Jim and John.
Mm-hmm.
Jim and John watch TV. Watch TV all the day. All the day. We have to all the day and forget to learn English and forget to learn English.
Okay.
To learn English. To learn English. To learn English and to learn English and makes homework.
Okay. All right, let's talk about this just a minute. Actually, what you've made is an SSVVV.
Yes, you have two verbs. No?
You have three. You have watch,
Yeah.
forget, make. A couple other small problems, but good learning points.
And learn.
What's that?
Learn as well, a verb. Watch and forget and learn
Ah,
and make.
I didn't
Yes.
count. I didn't count learn because this is an infinitive.
You can learn. You can count this one because it's infinitive.
That's right. It's not really functioning as a verb anymore. Gerunds, ing verbs, and infinitives, to, and then base verb. You don't consider those as verbs, like when you're dissecting a sentence like this. So it didn't even occur to me to even think about it because I'm used to it, but you're not. So okay, now you know. It actually functions like a noun, like it's an indirect object. So it functions like a noun when a gerund or an infinitive is used. It's not considered as a verb. Anybody else in class see any problems with this sentence? I was just going to tell you, but I wonder if anybody else sees.
Yes. I think you must use punctuation because it's like a fragment sentence.
No, we don't really need. Oh well, okay. Yes,
You need a comma.
you're possibly right. It is more common when you're listing things, activities in this case. Well, yes, you do have a point. It would be better probably to have a comma here. Okay. Yes, and then use and to bridge
I
the
think
last thing.
they is necessary before forget.
Well, if you put
Okay.
they, then you've got another subject noun. Okay. If we were going to put they, that's a new subject noun. So now we would have to. Now we do need and, because actually what we're doing, independent clause, new independent clause, because we have a new subject noun. Okay. So this would be an SV compound conjunction, and then SVV. Okay, so that changes it's no longer a simple sentence when you add that subject noun. So that's why I was trying to express that earlier. Turkey is absolutely correct. It would be better for him to do this. There's a couple other small mistakes. Very, very, very common. I've heard this so many times from language learners all the day. English speakers never ever say that. We just
During
say
the day.
We just say all day.
And during the day, it's also the same. No. During all day. During all day.
Okay. Well, it's slightly different meaning. Jim and John watch TV all day would be much more normal, actually.
Okay.
But you could say during the day, but that's to express the idea. If you say Jim and John watch TV all day, I just automatically, my brain thinks that they just watch TV constantly, maybe daytime, maybe nighttime. If you say Jim and John watch TV during the day, I would assume they do not watch TV at night. Okay, so it would mean something slightly different to me. All day is more of a vague kind of time phrase.
Okay.
We use it to express the idea that somebody does this a lot or for a large period of time. Yeah, but it's always all day, never all the day. Okay, and another small problem, forget to learn English and make homework. You do homework. It's the old make and do. Which verb do you use?
Yeah.
You use do for work. Do the dishes, do the laundry, do a paper for school, do a project for work. Anything related to work, housework, homework, you do. Do paperwork.
Make is only for the creation, no? And do is for the common use, yeah? Make and do.
Again, I'm not sure I understand your question. Sorry.
Yes, and make homework, but make, we're using only this word, this verb, only for the creation, no? If
Creation,
make,
right. I
yeah.
see. Yes, I, as the teacher, I can create homework for you. That would be normal. So I can make homework. I'm a teacher, so I have to make homework for my students. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, then that would be appropriate. But if you're the student, then you do homework. Yeah, right. Make is for create. Overall, believe me, that's like I could spend 2 or 3 or 4 classes talking about make and do, and all the subtle differences. Okay. Turkey, I have a different assignment for you. I want you to create an SVPP sentence. What I mean by that is one subject, one verb, and a prepositional phrase.
Prepositional phrase, okay. Subject. Okay. I watch. Prepositional phrase, like what? I don't know, actually.
A prepositional phrase includes a preposition,
Okay, I watch TV.
okay.
I know that's wrong, but okay. Preposition phrase, like include the preposition and what?
Includes a preposition and a noun. It must have a preposition and a noun. It may include other elements, possibly adjectives, possibly articles, or quantifiers,
Okay.
but it has to have at least a preposition and a noun.
I watch TV on Mondays.
There you go. On, and then the noun. Mondays. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. In reality, okay, if we're dissecting sentences, because, okay, you do the action, whoever's doing the action, I, in this case, is the subject noun. The verb, yeah, all right, it's obvious. Okay, this is a dynamic verb. It's an actual physical action. TV here is an object. So if I'm writing the dissection of this sentence, this is how I would write it. SVOPP, prepositional phrase, just like this. Okay. Great. Yeah, that's it. All right. Again, it is not always necessary to include an object noun there. For example, looking back at Nien's example up here, the phrasal verb go out, meaning to leave your house for purposes of entertainment, go out dancing, go out for dinner, go out to the movies, what have you. This verb does not take an object. It cannot have an object. This phrasal verb, this is a phrasal verb which will not take an object. So notice that she doesn't use an object. She has a prepositional phrase there. That's correct. What she had to do. Okay. Nien, before I continue, you have a question in the VerbLink chat box which I do not understand.
Yes.
Can you explain me forget thing? What?
Forget learning English and doing homework, or forget to learn English and do homework. I cannot understand type of it when we use forget verbing and when we will use forget to verb.
Okay. The verb, are you talking about the ing?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's play around with that a little bit. Okay. Which, by the way, the ing form, first of all, it can be one of two things. Using the verb to be and then verb and ing. This verb plus ing is also called the present participle. Okay, when it's an actual verb. In this case, it's an actual verb. It's in combination with the verb to be, so this forms a continuous tense. Was verbing, past continuous. Is verbing, present continuous. Will be verbing. Okay, obviously future. All right, in this case, it's an actual real verb. It is not a past participle when it's just no verb to be, but it's just verb and then ing. This is called a gerund. Gerund functions as a noun. Basically, it can, and it often is, it can function as a subject noun. Swimming is a fun sport. There, swimming, subject noun. I like swimming. Okay, there we have it as an object noun. So it can function either way, or even in a prepositional phrase as a. But it's actually as a gerund. It's basically functioning as a noun, not a verb anymore. So going back to your sentence, Jim and John watch TV all day. Can you actually write forgetting? Forgetting to learn English and do homework. In this case, I think you could.
You don't want to put also in front of forgetting and forgetting to learn English?
No, you don't need and here.
Okay.
Let's see here. Forgetting to learn English and do homework. Huh, this is interesting. Watch TV all day. Oh, now I don't need the comma. Okay. Watch TV all day, forgetting to learn English. Okay. Now this becomes, because I'm using a gerund here, gerund followed by another infinitive. Now it's an SVV again. Okay, so now this is no longer considered really a verb. It's a gerund. So you've changed the sentence slightly. That's why we don't need a comma here anymore. All right. Nian, did I just confuse you even more?
Yes, sir.
I did? I confused you even more? In most cases, this is not going to be possible. This is just a happy accident, or maybe a tragic accident because it confused you. In most cases, this would not be possible. Okay. Let's see. I enjoy studying English, and I enjoy. See now, okay. I enjoy and liking studying English. This is not going to make sense because studying is a gerund. You could not do that here. And frankly, these two verbs, like and enjoy, you can't even make them into a present participle, into a verb, because these are non-continuous verbs. It's not possible to use them as verbs with ing. It is possible to use them as gerunds. This fish is not to my liking. Okay, that's a gerund. So I'm not sure if I understand fully your question, Nian. This is a weird circumstances in this particular
Firstly, I asked you about the forget the learning. But when you explain me the forgetting to learn, I think I understand your explanation, but not for the my question. Because I study English and I see the structure forget verbing, forget just forget learning. Yeah. Uh, you see the
Oh,
Mr. Akash. Yeah.
okay. Forget learning. Oh, you're asking the infinitive or gerund.
Yeah.
Aha. Okay. Hold on to your hat, Nian. I'll try to explain. It's a very good question, and it's a question many students have. I see. When do you use the infinitive and when do you use the gerund? Okay. It depends on this verb. The main verb in front. Okay? It depends on the verb because some verbs can take either. Okay, it's a little tricky. Stay with me. They can take either the infinitive or the gerund. Some verbs only take gerund always. They never ever take infinitive, and the opposite. Some other verbs only take infinitive. They never ever take a gerund object. Other sentences, other verbs, like what? Okay, making taxing my brain. All right, let's see if I can think of. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me see. Let's think. Well, okay. Some take either. I like verbs that show preference or like, hate, desire. These kinds of verbs can take either. I like to swim or I like swimming. Okay, it doesn't matter which one you use. Basically, the meaning is the same. Slight difference. The infinitive is more thinking about the possibility, the possibility of doing something, the idea as more of an abstract. Whereas the gerund, in general, is more, I like swimming, tells me that you actually swim. You physically do it. I like to swim, you like the idea of swimming. Whether you actually do swim or not, it's a little bit more abstract and esoteric. Okay, that's one thing. Now, verbs that only take one. Well, okay, hang on. Let me show you one more thing. Okay, forget. Okay, I forgot to buy milk. Okay. Here's something else that can happen. I forgot buying milk. Now, in one I've used infinitive and one I've used a gerund. What happens here? Whereas I like to swim or I like swimming basically mean the same thing. There's no real, the difference is the slight subtle inference is nothing anybody would pay any attention to. However, these two sentences are completely different. I forgot to buy milk. I didn't remember to buy milk. I forgot buying milk means I did buy the milk, but I forgot about doing it. I forgot when I went to the store and paid money. I forgot buying milk, so I left the milk in the car, and it was freezing last night, and the milk is frozen. I forgot buying milk. I forgot that I did it. I forgot to buy milk means I never did it. Totally different meaning. So in some cases, using gerund or infinitive can actually entirely change the meaning of this sentence. Okay, now, Turkey wanted examples. Yeah.
Sorry, Huxley, but for me it's not evident because I forgot to buy milk and I forgot buying milk. From my point of view, it's the same.
They're not. They're not.
No.
I forgot buying milk means you actually did buy the milk. And believe me, every English speaker would consider that's what that means.
Okay, you bought the meal and you forget the meal in at the store, for example.
Yeah, or whatever. Like I said, okay, I forgot buying milk, and so I left the milk in my car and it froze overnight, like that. Oh,
Okay.
I did buy it, but I forgot that I did it. Okay, so this can also happen. And some only take one or the other. I'm trying to think of a verb. Okay. Want. Okay, there's one. I wanted to drink milk. I just simply after want. I cannot say, Turkey, I cannot say I wanted drinking milk. It doesn't work. You can never use a gerund after want. I want buying a new car. No, I want to buy a new car. It's impossible to use a gerund. So there's an example. I can't think of any, but there's other main verbs that require a gerund every time. Okay, well, we're getting far afield from simple sentences, really. So I'm going to try to bring it back. Nien, so to answer your question as simply as possible, it depends on the main verb. All right, and quite honestly, sometimes it's nonsense. For example, verbs of speaking, you know, like say, tell, shout, ask, request, all those many verbs that express the idea of communicating. Wow, there's no sense. Some take gerunds, some take infinitives, some take objects, some do not take objects. I talked to her. I can't say I talked her. I told her takes an object. I said to her. I can't say I said her. I can't do it because it doesn't take an object. So object, no object, gerund or infinitive. There's really no set pattern. Sorry to report to you. There's no easy answer. Okay.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yeah. Hi, Vincenzo. Hi.
Hi, teacher. Good morning. So I don't know if there's morning. Yeah. No, I didn't quite catch the difference between I forget. How did you say buying milk? I forgot to buy milk and I forgot buying milk. Which is the difference between the two?
Okay. I forgot to buy milk tells me that you never did buy the milk. You still have not bought the milk. All right.
So I don't have right now the milk with me.
Well, yeah, you never bought it.
I never bought it. Yes.
I forgot buying milk means you forgot the action. Again, ing, the gerund, it's about the physical. Okay, whereas the infinitive is more abstract. So I forgot buying milk means you actually did physically buy the milk, but you forgot that you did it. You forgot you did this action.
Yes, I forgot. Yes, it means that right now you have the milk with you, but how can I say? Previously, you forgot to buy it.
Well, no, it means you forgot about going in the store and buying it. Maybe you've been drinking too much wine today. I don't know. I'm not sure why you forgot, but you forgot doing that action is what it means. I forgot talking to you last Friday. This might be. Oh, I forgot talking to you last Friday. I didn't remember it. It's probably common. I forgot to talk to you last Friday. Okay, I didn't remember. I didn't remember to buy milk. You could say the same thing. I forgot to buy milk.
Is there any other example like completely different meaning, gerund and infinitive, the verb?
Yes, there are. There's not a whole lot of them. Remember, forget, of course. Well, that's too easy. There are. There are, but I can't think of them right now. There's one or two others. This is not very common where this happens. Honestly, it's not that common. Sorry, I can't think of another example off the top of my head without doing a little digging. Okay, back to a simple sentence. One, independent clause. Note what the definition does not say. Okay, people think simple. Oh, it's simple. It's short or it's easy to understand. Not necessarily so. Because it doesn't say anything about phrases, like prepositional phrases. A simple sentence can have 47 phrases, but only one independent clause. I love simple sentences. All right, that is simple. In both definitions. But look at this. Being an English teacher. Oh, there's being as a gerund, starting a sentence. Notice how much more formal it seems. Okay, being an English teacher with a penchant. Oh, prepositional phrase for syntactical complexity. Oh, prepositional phrase. I love simple sentences. Being an English teacher, this is a gerund. A gerund phrase, okay, which is the problem we ran into with forgetting earlier. Same kind of idea. It's not a clause, it's a phrase. All right. This, I love simple sentences. This is your actual sentence, your actual one independent clause. There it is, with 3 different phrases. It's still, however, a simple sentence. It's okay. Being an English teacher with a penchant for syntactical complexity, it is a participial phrase. Participial means part, particle, part. Okay. These are prepositional phrases. Okay, you could call this a gerund phrase or a participial phrase. Yes. Okay. Here we go again. Here's another example. Being an English teacher with a penchant for syntactical complexity, I love to read simple sentences upon getting up and before going to bed. Same thing. We've just added more phrasing to it. It's still quite complicated. I hesitate to use the word complex because that's another type of sentence. It's more complicated, that's for sure. It's quite formal, that's for sure. It is still, however, a simple sentence. Do you see that? Is this confusing to anyone? You still... again, what is the simple sentence here? Ken?
Hello, yes.
Huh? Ken, where's the actual independent clause in this whole crazy thing?
Independent. I think the first, being an English teacher, something like I love to read simple sentences. Main thing on this.
Yes, it is, and that's it.
So, yeah.
Same. It's the same. It's the same. From here, I love to read. I love simple sentences. I love simple sentences. I love to read simple sentences. Okay. Same. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many phrases you want to add. So, okay, we left off when we were practicing with one prepositional phrase. I had Turkey try. Let's try. How many phrases can you add? Do your worst. Or your best. Simple. Okay. When I say do your worst, I mean do your best. It's just an expression. Do your worst. Nien, you want to try? You want to try to how complicated a simple sentence can you create using basically something like this as a model by adding phrases, prepositional phrases or participial phrases?
Um, um, Being a good mother, I want to learn mm, mm, I want to learn many skills.
Many
Skill
skill.
to help my little daughter. Discover the world.
What's
To
the word?
discover.
Discover.
Discover. Is that
Discover.
it? Discover. World. Okay. You've got. All right. Nyan, what is your? Great job. What is your independent clause? What is your simple sentence in here?
I want to learn many skills.
Excellent. Skills. Make sure you're pronouncing that S. All right.
Skills. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. All right. Here we have a participial phrase. You can start participial phrases with a gerund, or as you've done here, to help my little daughter, you started with an infinitive. Very good. To discover the world. And another phrase there. Excellent. Okay. You can do the same thing with many phrases, prepositional phrases as well, to talk about time and place.
Excuse me, teacher, a question.
Yes.
But in this sentence, I want to learn many skills. By itself, there is no sense, and I think, if you don't add to help my little daughter to discover the world. I make this question because I think that the principal sentence is I want to learn learn many skills to help my little daughter to discover the world. Because only by itself I want to learn many skills. It's no sense, there is no sense, I think.
It makes perfect sense to me.
It's more general, no?
No, it makes perfect sense to me. I consider this complete.
Which skills? You have to precise which skills you have to learn. No?
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see where you're headed. Is it a complete thought? Is your concern?
Yes. Because I would divide the sentence in two parts. Being a good mother, I want to learn many skills to help my daughter to discover the world.
Okay. It clearly has a subject noun I, and it clearly has a verb want. I'm okay with this, frankly. I understand your point and your concern, but I think it's enough for me. English speaker, I want to learn many skills. I want to eat many hot dogs. Okay, that's enough.
Okay.
I don't have to add any more clarifying information. I'm okay with it, actually. Earlier on in the lesson, somebody had a sentence, I think Nyan had a sentence, and I called her for the same kind of idea. You weren't here, but she had this sentence, my husband and I go out for dinner. For me, that wasn't quite complete enough. So I asked her to add a time phrase, okay, to clarify and make it more of a complete thought. So sometimes that is an issue. You're not talking nonsense here. Sometimes the fact that it's not clear or has room for ambiguity, I almost can't say that word. If there's room to be ambiguous, then yeah, you should definitely add some phrasing, some kind of phrases to make it clear. But I'm okay with this. I want to learn many skills. I can imagine what kinds of skills. I'm okay with it. Ken, you want to give it a try? How complicated a sentence can you create with prepositional phrases or gerund clauses or gerund phrases rather, or infinitive phrases?
Being a good English speaker, I want to learn more things like this. I learned today the difference between forecast, verb, no, gerund and infinitive. Yeah,
I can't even keep up with you.
yeah.
Okay. I'm lost. Yeah, I want to learn more things like this.
Yes.
Okay, and then what did you say?
Maybe being a bit to be more fluent,
Oh, okay.
more fluent speaker. To be a more fluent speaker.
Yes, you would need to use the article there. Good correction. Okay, what's your independent clause here?
Independent. I want to learn more things. Like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to include like this here. Yeah, that's it. Okay. All right, that's fine.
Can I make one, teacher?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me say, loving my dog. I like
What?
to go for a walk with him in the morning when it's not raining and when it's not very cold for an hour.
I like to go for a walk with him in the morning.
And what did you say?
When it's not raining.
Ah.
It's not raining. When it's not very cold.
Well. Vincenzo,
For an hour. An hour in the street. Yes.
Okay. Well. What is your independent clause?
I like to go for a walk.
Yes, it is. Okay. With him, prepositional phrase. In the morning. Okay. Prepositional phrase. Now, what do you got here? When it's not raining. We've introduced a new subject noun. And to introduce that new subject noun, you have correctly used a subordinator. So now we have a subordinate clause. We have a dependent. Subordinate equals dependent, same thing. Dependent clause. So this, when it's not raining, is actually a dependent clause. And this, when it's not very cold, is another dependent clause. So what you have is an independent with two dependents and more prepositional phrases here. A couple more here. So actually what we're looking at here is an independent clause, two dependent clauses. This is called a complex sentence. And this will be the lesson 2 days from now at this hour. We'll be making these. We're adding dependent clauses. So there's a preview of coming attractions, if you will. Okay. This adding with him in the morning for an hour in the street. Okay. Now, if we got rid of your dependent clauses here. Okay, even though you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different prepositional phrases of time and place, this is actually fairly common. This is kind of what I was expecting somebody to do earlier. This is definitely a simple sentence. Even though you got with him in the morning for an hour in the street. Okay, time, place, time, place, time, place. That is a simple sentence. Most certainly. Okay, any last questions about simple sentences? Everybody got this idea? Simple doesn't mean necessarily that it's simple. Doesn't mean easy, I should say. It's just the name of this type of sentence. Just means, again, independent clause is a simple sentence. It's the same thing. It has to have a subject and a verb. And the tricky part, as we've kind of seen, is the idea of expressing a complete thought. Okie dokie. If you guys don't have any questions, I need to go eat dinner because I'm starving. Yeah, we're about out of time. Thank you very much. Hope you
See you later.
learned one or two
Thank you very
things.
much.
Hope you can join me tomorrow at the same time slot. We'll look at compound sentences tomorrow. Take care, guys.
Okay, teacher.
Bye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.